Hey guys, today I'm going to be reviewing the first installment in the Zero Escape series, 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors for the Nintendo DS. 999 is a text-based puzzle adventure game developed by Chunsoft. If you haven't heard of Chunsoft, they're the ones responsible for the first couple of Dragon Quest games and most of the Mystery Dungeon games too. The release of 999 marked their first venture into the US market as far as text adventures go, but they were already well known for their visual novels in Japan. They're now known as Spike Chunsoft due to a merger, but they continue to develop visual novel games, with their most recently localized titles being Danganronpa and Danganronpa 2. The game itself follows Junpei, a college student who wakes up on a sinking cruise ship with no immediate recollection of how he got there. He also has a bracelet on his wrist with the number 5, which he cannot remove, and he only has minutes to seek a way out of the room he's locked in. However, he is not alone. There are 8 other victims of kidnapping on the ship, and all of them have numbered bracelets ranging from 1 to 9. All 9 victims have been taken by someone named Zero, who tells them that they only have 9 hours to escape the sinking ship. If they don't escape in the allotted amount of time, they'll die. In order to survive, they need to go through the 9 numbered doors scattered throughout the ship. Each door leads to different rooms with locked exits, and Junpei has to solve various puzzles in order to find the key to these locked rooms and move to the next corridor. Oh, and one more thing. All of the captives have a bomb in their body, and the detonator is in their bracelets. If they try to break any of Zero's rules, the bomb goes off. A sense of mystery pervades the game from start to finish. As you start, you'll inevitably be wondering, who's Zero? What is he trying to achieve? Why did he choose to kidnap these specific people? And most of the endings in the game provide more questions than answers. But even so, 999's story never buckles beneath the weight of its own ambition, and it never loses direction. Every single thing, every character, every event, and every piece of information you gather is relevant. And in the end, all of the questions the game presents are answered. Unfortunately, I can't say much else about the story without spoiling it, because 999 bolsters one of the most mind-bending, intense, and complex narratives I've ever seen in a video game. The description I just gave barely scratches the surface of what makes the story so great. As for the characters, well, like I said earlier, there are 9 passengers aboard the ship, and all of them claim to have been kidnapped. They go by nicknames in order to protect their identities from whoever captured them. In numerical order, there's Ace, Snake, Santa, Clover, Junpei, Akane, who goes by June, Seven, Lotus, and the 9th man. All of these characters are different ages and from different places. Some of the characters know each other, like Clover and Snake, who are siblings, and Junpei and Akane, who are childhood friends, but there seems to be nothing else connecting all 9 people together. It's difficult for these characters to be trusting given the circumstances, and since there isn't time for in-depth introductions, there's tons of room for suspicion. Since the game takes place over a span of 9 hours, there's not a lot of room for character development. This is usually replaced by something even better, instances where you learn something about a fellow victim's past that contextualizes their personality or actions. Some of these revelations are small and ultimately insignificant, while others are mind-blowing. Almost all of the characters' backstories and motivation, good or bad, made me gasp. And even though your companions aren't 100% trustworthy, you'll inevitably warm up to them over time. They're all just too colorful to dislike, and they all have at least one interesting or realistic quality. So once you move past first impressions, you discover interesting and at times damaged characters beneath the nicknames. And as you listen to their stories and hear about their struggles and tragedies, you can't help but get attached to them. So yes, all of the characters are interesting and serve some sort of purpose, even this guy. Now, since 999 is extremely text-heavy, I feel like the translation quality is important to discuss. Access Games worked very closely with Kotaro Uchikoshi, 999's writer and director, when localizing the game. Uchikoshi himself has said that he believes Access did a magnificent job in localizing 999, and I wholeheartedly agree. The writing is absolutely phenomenal, and it's clear that a lot of care went into bringing this game over to the US. Alright, that's enough about the story and characters. Let's move on to the gameplay. The gameplay consists of escape the room puzzles almost exclusively, meaning that the only time you're able to take the reins from Junpei are during these puzzle sections. You're able to look around the room using arrows on the bottom screen during this segment to search for puzzle items. You're supplied with a calculator because the game involves a lot of math, and you're able to examine 3D models of the objects you pick up in your inventory. You're also able to merge some objects together in this menu, and if you get stuck on a puzzle, you can click on the items you have to see what your companions have to say. Most of the time, the rooms are challenging but fair. The puzzles never require ridiculous leaps of logic to solve, and they never reach punishing levels of difficulty. That doesn't exactly make this an easy game, though. Each room will take you a good amount of time to solve. And a lot of the time, the puzzles tie into the plot of the game, or are somehow related to one of the game's themes. I feel like this assists the pacing a lot, as it provides a break from the text-heavy novel sections without abandoning the sense of story progression entirely. Plus, by the time you complete the puzzle, the novel sections feel like a reward. It's something that you want to return to, rather than something that you're dreading or something you're tired of. When it comes to the music of 999, it's probably one of my favorite video game soundtracks out there. Normally when a game has a small amount of tracks at its disposal, I get really tired of hearing the same music time and time again. But even though I've played through 999 a whopping 12 times, I've yet to get sick with the soundtrack. The music cues are always spot on, and some of the tracks really get under your skin. Something important to mention is that the game has 6 endings. The ending you get is determined by what doors you go through and who you split up with, as well as some of the dialogue choices you make. The path to the true ending is very well hidden, and you're required to get one of the false endings before you can unlock it. If this seems strange to you, don't worry, this game knows what it's doing. Every false conclusion still reveals key information that will help you piece together the mystery of the nonary game, and it will also help you make informed choices in your next playthrough. Thankfully, subsequent playthroughs are made easy for you if you have a fast forwarding feature. Once you get your first ending, you can speed through text you've already read in your second playthrough. This is very useful for novel sections, but you still have to resolve puzzle rooms you've already gone through. I can't see any way of getting around this though, because the dialogue within the puzzle room changes depending on the choices you make. So you can't just skip the puzzle rooms entirely, you'd be missing key information. And since it's easy to remember solutions to rooms you've already gone through, it only takes a few minutes to redo them. My first playthrough took maybe 7 hours to complete, while subsequent playthroughs took around 2 or 3. So getting the true ending isn't as time consuming as it may sound. So that's 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. Overall, I give it a 9 out of 10. This game flirts with perfection on numerous occasions, and its brilliantly executed story will stick with you long after you put it down. Unfortunately, the development of the third and final Zero Escape game has been halted due to the series' poor sales, but that's all the more reason to buy 999. Zero Escape needs support now more than ever, and it's totally deserving of it. If you've played 999 and you're looking for a similar game, the obvious choice would be 999's sequel for the 3DS and Vita, Virtue's Last Reward. If you've already played VLR, I'd recommend Danganronpa for the Vita, a visual novel originally developed by Spike. It's a unique, dark, and at times comical game with almost as many twists and turns as 999 itself. Alright, thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe for more videos like this one.